Welcome to season 2 of the POV podcast. My name is Kate Treasure. This season is all about African stories and African leaders. And that's what we're on. And all the people coming on this seat have to be telling the African story. Yvonne Mogore, a woman who moved from the States, a woman, a lady, a girly on the net, moved from the States, came to Kenya and is making her mark. You cannot go on the internet and not see what Yvonne is all about. She's going to tell us her story. But first of all, I want to know, if Yvonne Mogore was not your name, which other name would you pick?
Sophia.
Ah, that was so quick.
Yeah.
You didn't even think about it.
I love that name.
Why?
I love that name.
Why?
My mom told me,
Yeah.
crazy enough,
Yeah.
that it used to be my name when I was first born.
And then they stopped
changed
calling
it.
you.
They changed it like the second or third day or something.
That's why you feel it.
Yeah, I felt it. Imagine. I love that name.
You're a Sophia.
I
Your
am.
alter ego is Sophia.
She is.
So how is Sophia?
She's a baddie. I mean, Yvonne's a baddie too, but Sophia,
So we need a balance.
fierce.
babe. We need
Sophia's
a balance.
We do.
Sophia's-
we do. We do. Sophia has a little more spank.
Yeah?
To her. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's really cool. I'm proud to say I'm one of the first people who ever interviewed Yvonne years ago in
Yeah.
2020 when
Yeah.
COVID broke out.
Yeah.
You're one of the few Kenyans who caught COVID in the States.
I did.
And you were already on medication. And it was crazy.
It was bad. Yeah.
You had to be hospitalized.
I did.
How much did it cost you? Because I know medication there and here is different.
You know, funny enough, at the time, U.S. was having this thing. If you got COVID, you could be allowed to have free healthcare.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but it was, I want to say maybe close to my medical bills, almost $35,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's 300K. Uku.
Yeah. No. What? No.
3,500.
Yeah. No.
3,500.
$35,000.
Okay.
That's like,
That's 300K.
no, it's not. $35,000.
Producer. Million. My producer said
It's
million.
millions. Yes.
I
it's not-
failed in math.
Yeah.
so don't-
And honestly, I know it's not. I knew it was something more than that, but I didn't know the exact number. So you're not that bad in math. You're not
Shit.
worse than me. Yeah.
But it's crazy. So
Yeah.
does your family come and help you in such a case, or what's gonna happen?
Yeah, they do come and help me. But they weren't allowing people to come into the rooms. So
Yeah.
my family could only help me from like afar.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they were there emotionally. We could talk on video. That's as much as they allowed them to be a part of everything. Yeah.
So at that time you were living by yourself.
No, actually, funny enough, I had come to visit my mom.
Okay.
And I got it on my way to visit her.
To where she stays.
Yeah, she lives in Boston. I lived in LA at the time.
Yeah.
And I was going to visit her in Boston. And on my way there, it was a trip. It was a road trip with my best friend. We went to Vegas. Anyways, we did too much.
Yeah.
I wasn't even shocked that I got COVID.
Oh, you
It
knew what you were
I
doing.
knew what I was doing. I was like, but girl, you were doing team too much.
Yes.
Team too much.
So this is what you get.
Yeah, this is what you get. I wasn't that surprised, honestly. But I didn't know it was going to be that bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did she get COVID? Did your friend get COVID?
Nobody else got COVID, imagine.
Hell.
My immune system is a trip. It's a trip.
Don't worry, I'll give you some tips.
Yeah?
Because now in Africa, you're able to eat really fresh food.
Yeah.
It's a very different environment. So you can be a little bit safer here.
Yeah.
I think so. I don't know. Do you feel like a lot has changed with your mental health there
Yes.
and here?
Yes.
Are you at peace here?
I'm way more at peace.
Yeah?
My skin's clear. You know what I mean? Thank you. And I'm just I think there's more of a life balance here
Okay.
that I think I didn't necessarily have in the US. And also just seeing people that look like you. I don't know, there's a calmness.
There's a safety.
There's a safety there that sometimes you don't realize when you're in the US, you're on guard a lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because you don't know.
Yeah, you don't know who's racist, who's not, and also like you don't know what someone's gonna do to you just because of your
Okay.
skin tone. And
Yeah.
I lived in a lot of cities, so I think I had so much experience, and there's an ease that I didn't even know that I needed.
Yeah.
Until I came here.
So your mom let you live by yourself as a young girl in the States?
Oh yeah, I was living by myself since I was 18.
Ooh, that doesn't happen in Kenya a lot.
I know,
There are
I
a lot
hear,
of
I
girls
hear.
who stay with their families to their 30s.
Yes.
Others, okay, if you're doing the rural urban migration, if your parents lived in Shanks,
Yeah.
you come to Nairobi, you have no choice, you have to live by yourself.
Yeah.
But a lot of people stay with their folks, and it's something so normal.
Yeah.
How was she? Because I know she's a Kenyan woman to
She
the
is,
core.
yeah.
How was she okay with my daughter living by herself?
I went to college.
You have no choice.
I went to college, and I never wanted to stay in college anywhere close to my mom. I wanted to venture. I've always loved being adventurous.
Okay.
So I told her, don't even be prepared. I'm not staying anywhere close to you. Also, I have an older sister who had done the same.
Yeah.
You know, she had gone, and my sister used to travel and go to Brazil by herself.
Okay.
Used to go to like Turks and Caicos. She used to just do so much.
Yeah.
So by the time I came around, mom was like, okay, fine.
Been there, done this.
She's like, all right, you guys are okay. As long as she gave us some like safety things. But I was cool. And she came, when I moved, she came to see me off. So yeah.
That was really nice.
Yeah.
It's so great to see you turn a new leaf, especially you decide to move to Kenya. It's one of the biggest steps anyone can do.
Yes.
It takes a lot when everyone is almost migrating there to make a life for themselves. But you see, that's the thing about someone who's been there.
Yeah.
You've grown up there.
Yes.
For like your life.
Yeah, most of my life, yeah. Since I was 10.
Yes, that's your life.
That's my whole life.
Pretend is really nothing much you're doing.
Yeah, no, there wasn't.
So it's a big step to decide to leave your friends.
Yes.
Leave your lovers.
Leave
what you are accustomed
my family,
to.
My
Yes,
immediate
your family,
like
of course.
80% of them are there.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Is your mom, I'm sorry, I don't know if you're with your dad, I don't know.
No. My father is not present.
Okay.
He's somewhere here in Kenya living his life.
Ah, wow.
I actually saw him again for the first time in like December. It's a different story.
Okay, we're going to get on that.
Okay, cool. But my mom, my brother, and my sister are all in the U.S. My aunts, like, are all there. My uncle is here and some of my aunts too, but...
Jumping to come here.
Yeah.
That day you made that decision and booked that flight to come here.
Yeah.
Why did you come back? What are you coming to get here?
I know.
Because that's where like, unakujia nini huku?
I know. So I think a few things. It wasn't just one day decision.
Okay.
I think I've always known since I was in college that I was going to somehow I knew I was going to travel the world. That I knew. And stay in different places. My dream has always been, and I still do this, thankfully because the passport allows me to, right?
Yeah.
I want to have homes in different places of the world.
Oh, yes.
Right? And just get experience. I love experiencing. So preparing moving to Kenya wasn't like a one day. It took me like 3 years to really make up my mind.
Okay.
Yeah. And I started doing research. And then I came here to visit. And I don't know, something was calling me. And then my grandma sadly passed away and I wasn't able to make it to her funeral.
Yeah.
And I don't know, just something was calling me to come here. And then I saw their
Yvonne, come home.
I know. I'm coming. So I came to visit, and then when I visited, I was like, oh my gosh. I think people back in the US think Kenya is like so backward. I know it's so sad. Even I know, but even still, you have no idea how much my family was like, girl, what are you doing?
Because they have vowed to stay there and it makes sense for them there.
Yeah. And I was like, but my profession allows me to live anywhere I want in the world.
Okay.
Right? Maybe you may be tied down because of yours, but I also saw the opportunity here. And to be really honest, in terms of business, what if you lived in a place that's in some ways Kenya's behind? We can admit that.
Yes.
In terms of you're comparing it to the US.
Yeah.
So what if you move to a place that's like 10 years behind and you can predict how the world is going to go? Right? Why don't you come and make a place for yourself when you know where the world is going?
I won't lie. I'm on that.
Yeah.
I'm on that. It sounds harsh when you say it, but when a country has finished war and it's settled in and is now fresh.
Yeah.
It's sad when I say that, and I'm saying it with a lot of love because I know a lot of countries are going through war. The people who come in to recuperate the new state of the country earn a lot of money. A lot of people in our country who are wealthy are some of the people who took a lot of stuff during independence. So I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
If you're able to go somewhere where you can be forecast, you can forecast what's going to happen.
Yes, exactly. I can foreshadow what will happen in 5 years. Like I've already seen it. I've already lived in the future in a sense. Right? That's more on the business side of it.
Yes.
I would say on my personal and spiritual side.
Yeah.
I think I felt like, just a calling to come here. Okay. And I felt like I wasn't connected to just my language, to Kenya, to just my family in a way.
Yeah.
And that I wanted that. And I wanted really badly to make it work.
Yeah.
And I feel like I came here on a mission. And I think I'm making it work.
I really like that. They say in every family, there's one child who will feel it all.
Yes.
And they sometimes seem like they're the ones who are wayward and a little bit off.
Yeah.
But they're the ones who feel the emotion. They feel it more than the rest.
Yes.
Do you feel like that's you?
I would say so.
Yeah.
I'd say I'm an emotional person, but just I follow my heart a lot.
Okay.
I think when I was in college, I took like a road trip and I lived in my car, and I just like traveled all over the
Okay.
U.S. Yeah.
Where do you shower? That is my question.
You know, there are gyms. It's called Planet Fitness. It's this gym that's literally everywhere in the U.S.
So that's where.
You go shower in the morning. Yeah. You go shower in the morning because you have a membership. They allow you to just go. You go shower in the morning and then you're good. And that gym is open 24/7. So even if it's not in the morning, you can go in the afternoon. It was a fun time.
You are in your. My God.
It was a fun time. I didn't tell my mom because she would have.
But now she knows.
She knows now and before. But yeah.
But she's safe now. She's good.
I'm good now,
She's on a
Mom.
good couch.
I'm not making bad decisions anymore.
Where were you going to? What was the plan with this road trip?
I just like I think I mentioned or you know I had like a car accident and I felt so lost. You know, and I felt like there's something that I need to know about myself. I couldn't figure out what that was, so I went searching.
Yes.
You know, I met people. I ate different kinds of foods. That's why whenever I'm here, I'm like, I can eat anything. You have no idea what I've ate. Smocha. Hey, by the way, they're fire.
Mayai ya barabarani.
Hey, the vumbi gives you the extra sauce.
Moturaki dogo.
Hey, so fire. So, but anyway, so I think I went and met people, and then through that journey, I just learned a lot that the process is where you learn who you are.
Okay.
So through that process and traveling, I met so many people, and it was just a good time.
I think it's necessary for. It's sad that you have to go through something traumatic for you to question a lot of things.
Yes.
And you know, when you're questioning what is life, who is Yvonne and all this, you found your answer through travel.
Yes.
You know, you want to come back home. Is there any other thing that you feel you found your answer in of who Yvonne is?
Meditation.
Okay.
So I meditate and I also pray. And I found myself in like, as much as I live in like the city, I also love the silence.
Okay.
And I write a lot. I journal.
That's nice.
Yeah. And I meditate and I talk to myself quite often. Yeah.
I do too, but people call us crazy.
Whatever.
What
You
is
can call
your
me
problem?
crazy all day, actually.
You should see me in my car. I'm just like, I'm having arguments.
Yes, scenarios.
Telling
And
people.
then I'm saying, what could I have done different? Right? Or you're playing out the different scenario? You do that too, right? Yeah.
I used to think I was crazy, but then someone said, you're your best consultant.
Yes.
So please,
Yes.
if you see me talking to myself,
Yes.
and you leave. This is a very
Yes.
intense conversation.
Yes. Yes. And I give myself such great answers.
Yeah?
Yeah. Yeah. Amazing answers.
Because God talks through us. So,
Amen.
you know?
Amen.
So he told me something when I was thinking about it. So yeah.
Exactly. I was told to move here.
Yeah?
Yeah, I really was.
And you know, there's something about trusting God
yes.
when he tells you something. It's scary.
Yeah, it's very scary.
It came with resistance from your family.
From family, friends, anybody that's close to me. They're like, God, what you doing? My mom is like, I'm used to you being adventurous. But this one is...
But why would she question and this is her home?
No. You know what happens? I think sometimes, and I love my mom. Mom, I love you so much. And we've had this conversation. I think sometimes parents work really hard to feel like they want to make a better life for you.
Yes.
You know, so for her, a better life is going to the U.S.
Yes.
Right? Educating. My mom made sure that all her kids are educated.
Taking children to the university in the States is not cheap.
It's not cheap at all. Right? So she invested not just... she's a great mom, sit down and talk to us about who we are, being independent women, all those things. So I think for her, she's like, I've put so much work into you to make sure I put you in this place that will propel. That is safe.
Yes.
That will propel your career, that will do all these things for you to go back to a place where I feel like I got you out of. So I think I had to show her, like, this is not the Kenya that you left. Right? This is a different Kenya.
Why did she leave?
She won a green card.
Okay.
Yeah. My father and her had just gotten divorced.
Oh.
And then one of her coworkers was like, hey, there's this like green card thing that you can win for like a family of 4. And we just happen to be a family of 4 now.
Coincidence.
I know.
It's
my
just
dad
on
is
the nose.
gagging. Anyways, but we just happened to be a family of 4 and she just signed up and then we won like months later.
Wow.
Yeah, it's just crazy.
And
yeah.
that, because of course, when you part ways with your husband, there's
Yeah.
the security of money and things like
Exactly,
that. So one of
exactly.
the things she wanted to be able to provide for the babies.
Yes, yes,
Okay,
yeah.
I
She
hear you.
was always a working woman. She went to college too.
Yeah.
But of course, there's a security, especially in that time,
Yes.
of having a man. You know, the
big one.
security, the money she had, like we were okay. We were
Yeah.
middle-ish class, a
Yeah.
little bit lower than middle class.
Able to feed the kids.
Able to feed the kids. We lived in an apartment that her job provided.
Yeah.
Moteli, by the way, an
Yeah.
amazing place.
Yeah.
So we were good. It's just I think the backing of a man at the time.
Yes.
Yeah,
It was a
but
safety.
It was a safety. Yeah, yeah.
So you've stayed for so long, since you're 10 till to date. Not till to date. I don't know till when you saw your dad. How do you handle that? But I understand sometimes how it could be different for someone else who hasn't experienced their father.
Yeah.
And how maybe it has affected them.
Yeah.
Because I know your mom had to do the work to be both mom and dad.
She sure did. She did.
Different countries. How do you feel like you took it yourself?
I think my mom and my sister, my older sister, tried their best to make sure that we had everything that we needed.
Yeah.
I would say there's certain things I think I wanted as a woman, right? Like, which I'm learning now that I'm getting older.
Yeah.
There's a certain level of, if you're raised by women, you're just taught you can do everything.
Yeah.
Like you can do.
It's funny. As much as I've been in that situation,
Yeah.
and especially Kikuyu women,
Yeah.
they really have that. Get your own. Have your own.
Exactly.
Always.
Yes.
You know, they're always like that.
Yeah, which is amazing.
Yeah.
But then I think sometimes when people have a father, they have a little bit of like, also allow a man to be there for you.
Oh,
You know what I mean? That I think I've had to learn that a little bit older.
okay.
Right? I think I did, but not in a way that I thought.
You didn't think you needed it, or what?
No.
What was it?
I always knew I needed or wanted a man.
Yeah.
But I think I wasn't behaving like I did.
Ah,
Right?
because Yvonne will take care of it.
Yvonne got it. All the time. Since she was 15, she's always got it.
Shit.
Yeah.
So why are you here?
Right.
For a man, why are you here?
Yeah, yeah. Oh, you're asking me?
No, I'm like
Oh,
in
you're
the
saying,
situation.
yeah,
If a
yeah.
man, it would be, why are you here?
Yeah.
Because Yvonne has it.
And I've had to learn now that I've just had to date in my quest of, I've just had to learn that I have to date men that just have more than me. Or else I'll feel like they may not have the value that I need.
Yes.
Right? Because I add so much value into somebody and myself that I have to date somebody else that adds value to me. Yeah, yeah. Or else it just doesn't work very well and I feel like I'm just pouring so much.
And it's not fair.
It's not fair, yeah.
Because especially when a woman is pouring into an empty cup, she will run dry.
Yeah, she sure will.
And we never want a woman to run dry.
No.
So did you ever meet him? You said you met him.
Oh, yes, that's what we were talking about. Yeah, in December.
Yeah.
My mom was here.
Okay.
And we just needed to meet him for some family thing.
That's good.
Yeah, I haven't seen him since I was so young, as I was a child.
He looks a little different.
He
I
looks
don't
very,
know.
he looks a lot different.
Okay.
He looks very, very different, and I'm different, right?
Yeah.
I was a child.
You were a baby.
I was a baby.
Yes.
Now I'm a grown, and he's like seen me on social media, and yeah.
I really want to see this experience because he's really experiencing a different Yvonne.
He is.
And
he
you
is.
are too.
Yes.
How was that?
And what?
How was that? You experiencing him and him experiencing
Yes,
you.
yes.
You know, the 10-year-old Yvonne and this grown one are two different people.
We are two different. And I used to be, I think when I was younger, I was a little more shy. Ain't nothing shy about me now.
This is different.
Yeah, I was very shy, actually.
Okay.
I was very shy and a little timid. And I think I didn't start growing to myself until maybe a teenager or so.
Yeah.
So I think the girl that he knew was like kind of shy and, and I think the woman that he met is really not shy.
She's great.
Polite, but not shy.
Yeah.
And I think we had to like learn each other. We weren't together for too long, and maybe I think him and I need to have a dinner alone at some point for my own healing.
Yeah.
But I was with my mom and my aunt, but he was just like, I remember he told me, he was like, I tell my friends and people around me all the time that you're my daughter, and nobody believes me.
But why would I lie about my kids?
Yeah, he's like, nobody. We look nothing like, by the way.
Oh, okay.
Like
Okay, I get that.
absolutely nothing.
I get that.
So and they would ask him, do you have pictures with her? And he'd like, no.
Well, those ones.
These
She does not look the way she looks.
this isn't. She was like one here, So, but it was good seeing him. And I think the person that you have in your head when you're a child, you know, is just not who he is. So I think I carried a lot of anger and because he wasn't like the kindest man.
Okay.
So I think when I saw him again, I still thought, you know, my guard was up.
Yeah.
But
Like, what
I think,
you want.
yeah.
You know?
What you want. Anyways, but I think life has really humbled him. So I think I was able to meet like a different man, and I was able to, I think, be more warm towards that man.
Wow.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
I did a TikTok recently of there's a man who met the dad on the streets, and the dad was not doing well. Like he was like roughed up.
Wow.
You know, sadly, one of the things that has encompassed us so much as Kenyans is absent fathers. It's a very common story, and it's sad.
Very.
And the worst thing that happens is that a lot of these men end up really, their life is down. They get into drugs, alcohol, and that whole, you know, craziness. And in that video, he was talking to his dad by the car mirror, and he was like, go away. And it was in Kikuyu, and he was insulting him.
No.
And I'm not even going to give you 100 shillings. You can go rot. You left us, me and mom. I don't care.
Yeah.
And I stitched the video, and I was like, I think maybe I'm speaking from a point of privilege. Point to say, because it has also its flaws. It wasn't always perfect.
Yeah.
And I was like, you don't need to hit him hard. Life already taught him his lesson. You can see he's borrowing you 10 bob.
Yeah.
So life already taught him his lesson. And because you have been blessed, 10 shillings will not change anything in your bank account. And people really attacked me, and they're like, why are you giving him a chance? And I was like, there's something that anger does to us when certain people live our lives. And then you see what God has done to them, and you wonder, what should I do? Continue to punish them for what they've done? Or what? It's such a quagmire sometimes. And I like to sit with someone who's experienced that, so I hear, what are your thoughts? Seeing his life change like that, where do you stand?
I would say I'm on both sides, your side and theirs.
Yeah.
I would say that as a person, you go through different steps and stages, right, of acceptance of a person that did you very wrong, did your mother wrong. Like, and as a child, people think that you don't see or understand, but you're seeing and you're understanding your mother being hurt, right? So you carry this anger. So maybe by the time he was meeting his father, he still had that anger within him. I think by the time I was there as well.
Yes.
I remember I used to be like, if I saw him thirsty on the street, I wouldn't even give him water. Right? That anger existed in me.
Yeah, because everybody needs both of their parents on deck.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I had to go through a lot and mature and be like, okay, you know, let me see his point of view. Maybe let me understand him a little bit more so I can, you know, come from what you're saying.
Yeah.
But I think it's stages. And I think we need to allow and give people grace. Even if they are angry, be like, okay, you're just in that place. And honestly, he's allowed to feel like that.
Yeah, because he's lost a big part of his life.
Yes. And he saw his mother suffer.
And it's painful.
Yes. Yeah. And he suffered, and who knows the trauma that he has already.
Yeah.
Right? So if he feels that way, he's valid, right? I just think that maybe I think the better way would be like, okay, I feel how you're feeling. Maybe you shouldn't treat your father that way. Yeah. But I also empathize with your feelings.
Of course.
You know?
I like what you said, grace, because that's what carries us through life.
Yes.
We gotta have grace for one another.
Yes.
Tutakoseana.
Imagine.
You know? But it's really, I'm glad that you've seen life in different sides. You've seen life in the States. You've seen yourself, you know, as a young girl, as a grown woman, as a Kenyan woman. But there's something I don't know if you were ready for.
Yeah.
Had you seen yourself as a Kenyan influencer?
Oh my gosh.
A Kenyan influencer.
Hey,
my God.
I had not known.
Comment section.
I had not known what would ensue in comments. And just in general, how Kenyan influencers or just the Kenyan audience is. Yeah. I was used to like, you know, softness, you know what I mean? Americans, they'll say things to you, but they have boundaries.
Okay.
You know?
We don't have boundaries. It's okay, you can say this is my podcast.
There are no boundaries.
With Kenyans.
The things I have heard about myself.
You have a big forehead.
You're tall,
you're short. You know, like they'll always show something.
I laugh. Me, it's you wishing death upon me and my family.
No.
You know, like, I wish you died. I wish you weren't even born. And I wish you died in an accident. Like, just really bad. Or with COVID, I think there are no lines. Me, I can hear anything about my cheeks, my neck, right? Neck.
And same world.
We have the same cheeks. Yes. Cheeks. Like I'm a very confident woman in the way that I look.
You're
in the way
cute.
I know.
So wow.
Baddie.
Excuse.
Thank you. Not just I know. Thank you, girl. But I'm very confident in the way that I look. So it's very hard to attack me on my looks, right?
Try something else.
Try something else. Because you can't. Don't try to tell me that I ain't. Don't try to tell me.
You know I'm it.
You know I'm that girl. Okay? You know I'm that girl.
Yeah.
And I think, but that also took some time to grow into. I wasn't always a confident woman.
Okay.
I think my confidence derived from other people, like being told, like, "Oh, you're a pretty girl."
Yeah.
But I hadn't felt that within myself. So even that I had to build.
Okay.
So, anyways, I'm gonna attack my cheeks, these braids have taken my edges. Attack
Everybody.
Eyes, whatever.
Yeah.
But I think when people come and attack my character, like saying I'm not a good person, saying I came here to scam people, or my family, I'm a white Tito, which I'm not afraid of or ashamed of, right? I look like my uncle.
Who chooses their uncle?
Yeah.
Who chooses their
And I look like him, fam.
No, but who chooses their family, really?
Exactly.
No one does.
Exactly.
I was just born into it.
Yeah. And if you guys actually knew the person, you know what I mean? I think you just know the
Bits
person,
and pieces.
bits and pieces, right?
Yeah.
You don't know what he's done for my family. You don't know what he's like I'm not here to defend him, but I'm just saying when people attack you for things that they don't know, or for your family, that's where I think
It's
I
really
get it.
mean.
Yeah. And I will admit, Kenyans, that took me down for a bit.
Yeah.
For a bit. For a bit.
It took a minute.
Hey. It took a couple months.
Okay.
It did. Imagine I wasn't ready.
I think because a lot of people in Kenya, especially if you're related to most politicians, people don't publicize. No one tells nobody. People in the streets know, but no one on the internet knows.
Yes.
I've gone to school with a lot of them, but
Yeah.
you would never know that this is this person's kid. You would never know because, of course, even they know what comes with it.
Yes.
Sometimes even they protect their children so much because they know what comes with it.
Yeah.
We only see their children during their burials.
Yes.
We don't know them kids.
Yeah.
Because they understand what comes with it. They understand that the hate they receive, they don't want it to their children.
Yes, which is
so
understandable.
I think you were not conscious of that fact.
I wasn't, nor did I give a damn, to be really honest.
You gotta live your life.
And also I'm outspoken, right? Like I'm very unapologetically myself, right? Like if you're gonna, but I wasn't ready for the backlash of all of that all at the same time.
Yes.
Right? I'm okay with when I first talked about my uncle, I was okay with people talking about me then. But I think when it was a mix of him, me as a person, being a scammer, being not genuine, being I think when it all came together, and I was being like a villain.
Yes.
And I'm just not good at playing the villain role. It's just not who I am.
Yeah.
So I think when it was all put together, if those things were separated, I'd be cool. But I think when they all came at once, I was like, geez, this is so cruel.
And you see, that's the thing about society. It's very subjective. It's not objective.
Yeah.
You see, R. Kelly is going to be pinned as this, what he did was actually wrong. He's in jail and all that. But there's a time also his wife got a little bit of backlash. Remember, she left him at one point. And imagine he has kids and she has to handle that. So,
exactly.
And we're not saying Waitito is that evil, no. He's just had his stories and issues. Politics is messy.
Which, by the way, I wasn't here for half of that.
And politics is messy on its own. Soko yote iko messy. Every market has its messiness.
Yeah.
Even the one that sells nyanya, there's some politics.
That's true.
But it's very sad that as a society, people don't know how to separate issues, and they don't know to be objective versus subjective. People will give, the same heat to someone who's not even there to this other person.
Yes.
So what I would say is just have grace for them. They don't know any better. That's what I usually say. They don't know any better.
Yeah. Which I've learned that, but I've also learned, like, before I just used to, like, sometimes like ignore comments. But right now I'm gonna come for you a little bit.
Don't talk
I'm
crazy.
gonna come for you just a little bit. I'm not gonna come out of my like class in a way, but I will still like come at you a little bit.
Yeah.
I think before I used to be like, I'll just let that slide.
Yeah.
And I just let that slide. And I think when I started letting things slide, people really started thinking this is who I am. And I'm like, no, I'm not gonna let some of that slide.
Okay.
Politely, and maybe not so politely sometimes.
Yeah.
Kenya has made me
tough.
You guys have taken me. You've run me through the concrete. right? You run me through the concrete.
Because now you know.
Hey,
Let's go to war.
Let's go to now. Now I'm ready for y'all.
Do you know? Let me tell you, it's internationally known. You can never go on an internet battle with any country. Like, you can't do Kenya versus, you will lose. It is known. Like, everybody
it
in
really
the world
is.
knows.
It's
like,
not the best
cannot
reputation,
Don't
though.
even try it.
But it's not. It's not. It's not. Because what's her name? Is it Majimbo?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Wasn't she being dragged by Kenyans by a
it was
lot?
so sad. It was so
Even
sad.
though, I mean, I get it, but I think it's not like the best reputation. But I'm learning as a person that's putting themselves out there in Kenya, you just got to go through the rough it. And then just know how to handle it.
But it's also, it's funny, we'll give you almost the same love as well.
Yes.
You've
After
received
you've
it.
proved,
Yeah.
after you've proved you can handle.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's really crazy. And
It
I like the
is.
fact that you said you don't play the villain role so well.
I don't.
There's
no.
been a villain, an apparent villain in your life for a while. You even took him to court and you said you want the shmoney.
Let's not even say his name, please.
I didn't say it
Oh,
either.
okay.
And you said if you find this guy, wekelea pesa tunashika yeye. And I'm like, yo, babe, you're taking. I saw it and I was like, yo, this fight is becoming. This fight is going on.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's an actual fight. Yeah.
And but I get it. I understand the court system. I understand the law. And I was like, do you want to do this? What really motivated you to be like, I'm going to court and I'm going to on war on this?
I don't like being put into a corner.
Okay.
Right? And I don't like someone spreading false information about me. Right? And if they have the resources to take you down, I will. Right? I think I will approach you nicely. I'll approach you positively. I'll approach you with respect.
Yes.
But don't play with me either.
Okay.
Right? And I think I think that was also a message I was trying to put out there. Granted, however good or bad, I don't really care. But that's also a message I was trying to put there. I'm a very, I think, nice and humble person.
Yeah.
But I also don't play around. I didn't get to be on top by taking little things from people.
Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah.
And I hear you. It's essential for women to do that. I say it on my podcast now. The only thing you should take laying down is, I can't say it. But you know what I mean. Like, don't take nothing lying down. Put up a fight.
And don't lie down all the time.
Girl.
Okay, you're right.
The podcast is over.
You're right. You took it there. So, okay, cool.
No, it's something I say it all the time. It's like, the only thing I'm going to take that lying down is filling the dots for yourself. It's I understand. Did it have his words and what he put out on there in the internet? Did it affect your money?
Yes, that's also honestly the main reason.
Yeah. How much money did it affect? That's going to be in the charges.
I'll say it's millions.
Yeah.
Yeah, millions.
Damn.
Yeah.
Because, and also it kind of made your relationship with your mentor a little bit crazy, because you see, seeing the fact that a lot of information about what your mentor does and what you do at Westwick is mainly from you. You're the one who's put it out there.
Yes,
of course, as a marketing way.
Yeah,
of course.
yeah,
And you're living your life. So I'm just showing you my life.
Yeah.
And so how has your relationship been since the court case and now? And, how you guys
we're cool.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah. Like, she's my mentor, right? She'll always be my mentor.
Wow.
And she had my back. I had hers. We've gone through, this has just happened to be public.
Okay.
We've gone through other things
They're deeper
in
trenches.
business. Hey, that there are deeper trenches. It just happened to be in business. We've been through a lot.
Yeah.
This just happened to be more public, and I think our public persona was being, or public image, that's what I want to say, was being portrayed falsely. So I think that's what we just had to handle that.
Yeah.
But in terms of business, there's nothing. And if you mess with white people, it's even,
it's worse. I get it though, but you have to. It's really essential for people to, lay the law. Like, this is what's gonna happen if you mess around. Because if you allow people to go around and just mess around with you, and women are really taught to just take it as it is. Don't think about it.
Yeah.
Itapita too. Another topic will happen tomorrow. But if you allow the disrespect so much,
imagine,
it becomes crazy. But then here's the backflip.
Yeah.
Every time a woman counters and is, is out there and is like even, defying what is said, people will label her so many things. One of the women who've walked out of our president, Martha Karua, the only woman, while guys were just seated men, she's one of the only women who walked off of Moi's, I think it was a meeting. I can't remember what it was. It was a campaign or something. And she walked away with a handbag, and everyone remembers that. From then, they labeled her an Iron Lady. There's something about a woman who fights that people stop seeing her as a woman, because she's not an Iron Lady. She's a woman. She was fighting for herself.
Yeah.
Did you encounter anything like that? People now seeing you as this very bullish person?
Honestly, no. I think I try really hard to show different parts of myself.
Okay.
Right? So that I'm not just labeled as one thing.
Yeah.
And at least in this day and age, and what I do, I'm able to show different sides of myself on social media.
Yeah.
So if you thought I was this bold lady, then let me show you me going out and hanging out with my cousin.
Yes.
Or let me show you me dating.
Yes.
Or let me show you so you can see people are multidimensional. They're never just one thing.
Yes.
Right? So I'm never really afraid of being called like a bull lady. I don't think that's only me. I think it's part of my personality, and I think it's an important part, right? But there's these really soft parts of about me as well.
Yeah.
And I like being like cuddled by a guy. Like I'm also very soft at the same time.
I love that.
Yeah. So I'm okay with being called whatever, as long as you don't disrespect me.
At the end of the day.
If you do, I will take care of you. Yeah.
I will teach you
I will teach you a lesson, right? Nicely. And I'll use every resource I have.
It's essential. It's essential to do that, especially for women right now in this day and age, where it's gotten to a point where even women are wondering, do we even want to sit across men and know them that well? And I can imagine your experiences here in Kenya dating. Recently, she was writing rules of do and do not in Nairobi if you're dating. And one of them was leave your hat at home, leave your mom the original copy, carry a photocopy of your hat.
Hilarious.
Because Nairobi has taught you a few lessons here and there.
It has.
Have you dated in Nairobi? You have dared to date in Nairobi.
I have, not seriously dated.
Okay.
Yeah. But I've dibbled. You know what I mean? I've just tried to see what's out there. I'm more of like, I like to do research, before I do anything. So I've dabbled here and there. I've tried different kinds, like to see what men are here and what they're like. Yeah. And I think they try to like say a few things, do a few things. I'm like, what do you think this is?
They had opinions, Amma?
No. Just games that I feel like I've already seen, like just things I've already like experienced, I will say the best thing about the US is you get people from all over the world.
Yes.
So you're able to see, different things.
You'll see the holes in the story.
Yeah? The holes in the story. I'm like, and I'm one of those that like will politely call you out,
I'm a billionaire, I got like 800K every day.
No, I would never say that.
No, if someone comes
someone coming.
Yeah,
okay,
trying to tell you,
all right, so buy me some property then.
Right now my bank account, I'm going through a merger right now.
Wow, okay. Wow. Okay. Well, let's wait a little bit.
I can be a dude.
You can. I like it. Go ahead. You're a cute
man,
dude.
I can't be a man.
I can't. Oh
I am in the better gender. Thank you.
I couldn't. I couldn't be a man. The way I love being a woman.
Yeah.
I love being a woman.
Yeah.
I do. I love all the things that come with being a woman.
And I like the fact that you work with women as well.
Yes, the majority of our staff is actually women.
That's really good.
Yeah.
So you, one thing you learn about Yvonne, she's working together with Westwick. And they help young girls and even young men.
Yes.
To know more about.
And even older.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All walks of life.
Yes. There you go. Yeah.
So you're helping guys be able to transition either from Nairobi to the US, become nurses. There are others who choose to stay here.
Yes.
And there are others that choose to go away.
Yes.
It's funny because you came back. Why are you sending people there?
But was I not a better person when I went? I sure did. I went and I milked the system.
Okay.
I went, I milked the system, I learned what I needed to learn.
Yeah.
Then I came back to implement some of those things.
Okay.
I just think and I don't know, people can view this however they would like, right? White people were colonizers.
Okay.
How did they get to be colonizers? I wanted to learn that. I wanted to learn their psyche. So when I started, and I always say I started working when I was 15, most of my bosses were white men. Right? So I was able to like learn a lot from them. Okay. Right? So, and I was able to implement things and it let me go into the meetings. I was able to move up a lot faster. Okay. In a lot of opportunities. So I was able to see a lot. And what we always tell our students is go out there in the world, right? Keep your eyes open, have an open mind, open ears, and just learn. Yeah. And just learn.
Learn a skill or two.
you're young, try to like just keep an ear out. Also always add value. I always believe in like adding value, not just you chilling there and just working. Add value to, I don't know, your boss, to whatever.
Yeah.
So I believe and just to clarify, we're just a school.
Okay.
All we do is educate students, and then we connect them to our partners, and they're the ones that help people go abroad if they want.
Yes.
Right. So yeah, I think it's wonderful. And there was an issue after COVID. There just weren't enough medical, like certified nursing assistants and registered nurses, because nobody was allowed to come to the U.S. So we saw and we're like, wow, that's a gap that we can fill, and at the same time help our own people.
I like that.
Yeah.
It's a very interesting perspective, and I hope Kenya picks it up.
Yeah.
Because many other countries, they do a lot of research on what is lacking, which careers are lacking.
Yeah.
And they actually market on it. I don't know if it's Thailand. Or is it Taiwan? I need to find the research. I'm sorry. When I do, I'll put it maybe in the caption or somewhere in the notes. They did their research and realized that they're going to be lacking in a couple of years. They're going to be lacking in nurses and plumbers and people to do those, a lot of working with their hands. So they pushed a lot of the youth to start learning those programs.
Yes.
And I find that very interesting.
Yes.
How much data did you have to get before coming?
Years worth of data.
Really?
Yeah. People think I just woke up and moved here. No, it was a plan. We researched and saw what is needed in the U.S. And just in general, there were a lot of my family members are in the medical field. It's just usually it's the easiest job. I was in the medical field as well. Like I was a CNA myself. Yeah. So whatever we're teaching our students, I've already done that. So we saw that was lacking, especially after COVID, because my aunts, my cousins, all these people are nurses, and they were being overworked.
Okay.
Just because there weren't enough people.
So you were living the experience itself.
Exactly.
Okay.
And I could observe and really see what's missing. Right? So I was like, wait, my mentor and I, we're like, we could fill this gap.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like a data-driven research.
I
See,
love
I
research.
know my English.
Hey, girl, go ahead.
I'm overdoing
it. You're not overdoing. You're doing perfect.
Oh my God.
You're doing perfect.
I think it's very beautiful to see you blossom on social media and just live out your best life.
Oh, thank you.
There's the question about money.
Yeah.
I won't lie. I dislike people who are not comfortable with money. Let me just say it here.
Yeah.
I don't like it. I remember there's a time I was fixing something, and one of the guys who was asking me was bringing me the receipt and charging me was so scared. I'm like, be comfortable to ask for the money. Like, be comfortable around money.
Yeah.
Chill. It's not a scary thing. You can ask for money.
Yeah.
When did you become that comfortable to talk about money? Because people don't talk about
They
money.
don't.
Yes.
So I think in our household, my mom was very comfortable. So because I started working so young, and so did my siblings, we would all chip in money for the bills.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So,
Wait.
Yeah.
So who's paying the electricity bill? Is it you or your brother?
Yeah, it was sometimes me, sometimes my brother, sometimes my sister, sometimes my mom. It just
That is
depends.
crazy.
Yeah. So we were okay with being like, okay. And my mom didn't like make us do it.
Okay.
She didn't say you got to chip in. She just would be like, oh, okay. But what she wanted us to do, though, is be responsible. So as soon as we turned 16, we started getting jobs, right? I started at 15, but my sister started.
Very common in the States.
Yeah. So I think once you start contributing and you're okay with money, right? Like it's a common thing. Right, so it was a regular conversation in our household. Mom,
people don't talk about money. They don't
They
even talk about
don't.
how much they're worth.
Imagine. So
No one says something like that.
yeah, so imagine I've been so comfortable talking about my money since I was 15, and I come to a place where people are like, "You're bragging." You're like,
Yeah.
I'm like, fam.
Kenyans are very scared about money.
I know.
It's bad because you'll find if we're working in the same institution,
Yeah.
you'll be paid more or I'm paid less. I don't know because we're not talking about the money.
Yes.
And that's very dangerous.
Yes, and I worked in this. I have a corporate background, right?
Yeah.
I worked in this facility, and one of the women, she was like an African American woman. She was like, "Don't you ever be afraid to ask what your coworkers is making."
No one tells us that.
Because you know what they do in the U.S., which is so, they pay white people more. For the same, let's say a white woman and a black woman are in the same position, they will pay the white woman. Same role. So she was like, "Don't you ever be afraid to ask. Get cool with your coworker."
So how much are you earning?
How much? Yeah, like, oh girl, like this is, and then 9 out of 10 times she's earning more money. So if you didn't have
so
that
that you can
conversation,
question the system.
exactly. And that happened to me. Right, I had a coworker who was making more money than me, and I had a higher.
How much more?
It was like $5,000 more.
Hey, no.
Yeah,
Hey,
it's something.
Kwani me, I'm a slave here.
Imagine, and I was in a higher position than her.
Hey.
Imagine the disrespect.
The audacity.
The disrespect.
Very rude.
Very. So of course I talked to her about it, and I know I was doing more. I've always done more as a person.
Overdo?
I overdo. I overachieve.
I get it.
Yeah.
It comes from a point of just wanting to. It's either Kenyan, it's the Kenyan version of
The
you,
Kikuyu.
and just the Kikuyu version of you,
Yeah.
just being a kind person.
Yeah.
It really makes you want to do more
Yeah.
and more
Yeah.
and more.
So her and I were just talking, right? You
Yeah.
know, I got cool with her. You know, I took that advice.
Okay.
So I got cool with her, and we're just talking about salary, blah, blah, blah. And I just was like, oh, this is like how much I'm making. And I feel like I can't go to this vacation because, and she's like, oh, that's how much you're making?
Shit.
I was like, yeah, girl, what are you making? If you don't mind me asking. Is that rude? I hope not. You know?
Is that rude and you want to know?
And I'm itching. I'm
You're
itching. I'm like,
calculating.
I want to know something. So I'm like, is that rude? I want to know. And she was like, no, it's not. But I'm definitely making more. And I was like, how much more? She's like, around $5,000 more. The way I was like,
Hey, Yapana.
that black woman was looking out for me. I went and I spoke to my superior, and they try to make up some excuse. They always do, obviously. They're going to make up something.
Yeah, you know, they were here in the company for longer.
Exactly.
They understand
They have more experience
the
than you when
company's
you come.
ethics.
Yeah, blah, blah, blah. I was like, I'm going to need you to put some respect on my name.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And they did.
And you see, that's the thing.
Yeah.
When you shake the table
Yes.
with truth
Yes.
and your facts,
Yes.
the table's got to flip.
Exactly.
And I like
and people
that.
are so afraid of that. And I don't mind being the shaker. That's okay. I'm cool with that.
It's really good.
It's
I
a
like
role.
that.
It's a role that I've gotten comfortable with, and I'm cool with it. I don't like being a villain. I always say that.
Yeah.
But I don't mind being the shaker as long as I'm able to communicate why I'm shaking the table.
Yes. And
you
it's
know?
for the right cause.
Yes,
It's for the right
yes,
cause. I think if we continue to be quiet when people are victimizing us and doing things that are just not right for us,
Yeah.
we're the same ones who will cry at the same table.
Exactly.
And I think people really want black women to take things.
Nah.
Just take it. Be happy you're even here.
Nah.
Yeah,
no.
be happy you're even in this presence.
Yeah, I want
Why?
to be as delicate as a white woman. I want to be given the same grace as a white woman. I want to be given the same table as her. Right? Why do I have to be strong and tough all the time?
Yeah.
Granted, I know I'm talking about toughness a lot.
Yeah.
But I feel like there are moments where I don't have to be that way.
Yeah.
Right? And especially not compared to another race.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm okay with shaking that table, girl. I'm okay with it.
But at least now that you're back home, it's
Yeah.
not really a race issue here.
thinking it, yeah.
It's not really a race issue. It's a case of when's the work being done versus is this the right way? In Kenya, we have a way of shortcuts. We love a good shortcut.
Chinyamaji.
You know, we love a good shortcut, a quick one.
Yeah.
Get paid.
Yeah.
We like it.
Yeah.
Have you experienced it?
Have
Quick
I?
shortcut.
Yeah. That's been a huge conversation that we have with our staff members when they come and work.
Yeah.
Right? Like, we know what you're used to, but this isn't going to be that.
Okay.
Right? And we're going to run this company like an international company.
Okay.
Right? So, you know, you're going to learn a lot. You're going to be tested a lot. And once we notice that you're trying to do something that's slight, you know, I will approach you. We'll talk to you about it.
Yeah.
If it continues, then maybe this may not be the right fit for you. You know what I mean? And I understand that that's so much into the psyche, and it's so much into, because that's
The
what's
system.
normal in
Yeah.
the system.
Yeah.
Right. But we're also trying to like introduce a new system. Right. Even though we're still in the current one.
Okay.
At least do whatever you want whenever you walk out of here.
Yeah.
But while you're in here,
Yeah.
we're gonna need you to be a better human being.
Okay.
Yeah.
But let me
Not
give
better,
you context.
but like you know what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah. Let me give you context.
Yeah.
You're in traffic. Either you're driving yourself or you have a driver. The cop shikas you. Option ni tuende Kilimani police station. Tumalize hii mambo. Ama you give me something, I just let you go. Because really, if you didn't kill someone on the road,
Yeah.
why are we sumbuana?
Oh, I'm not stupid now. I didn't say I was silly. I didn't say I was silly.
But you get it.
I get it. No, so see, there's circumstances. Let's see. You know, there's circumstances. You know, I just think when it comes to do with like maybe, your job and what we do, because we are in charge of, and not only that, we work with people internationally that are not used to this sidestepping. Yeah. Right? That's what I mean. I mean, a cop, you know, I don't mind, you know, that, I get it. Which I love that about here. I will say
things are a little bit easier.
Yeah. Things are easier, and I would say, you know, I'm able to make some things move a little bit more. Yeah.
It makes things move. It's not right, but it's sadly, it's the life we chose.
Yeah. You know, yes, it is.
It's when you think about it sometimes, and a lot of people who've lived in the States and have never been around such situations where you have to tip someone something for things to move faster. They come here and they're demanding for services. Then Huduma Center, and they're like, can you do this now, here and now? And they get so frustrated that this country has no order, and you're like,
yeah, but you know, that's an adjustment. That's kind of how I felt too. Yeah, until you learn to use the order that's here, you know. But yeah, you're frustrated because you've been raised to be more like an honest person, right? Like to be more upfront in terms of certain things. Yeah. So your whole psyche also has to change because everybody's giving a little something here. Yes. Right. So I wasn't used to it going somewhere and someone's asking me for like a little tip or something. I'm like, I'm just asking to park my car. Yeah. Or someone directing me somewhere and you want me to give you a little something for directing me? Kachai. Kachai. Oh, yeah. Hey, kachai. Kachai. Yeah, kachai. Yachai. You know, I was like, I wasn't used to it, but I learned that that's just, you know, that's how the system works. Yes. So use it when I need to. And also, if you're in a new place, I'm learning, you have to adapt a little bit. You can't just, you know, be so about where you come from. So I've adapted.
She's adapting so well.
I'm adapting.
She's adapted so well that right now she's even trying to learn Kikuyu. And I'm just like, girl, I don't know how you will make it. Your Swahili is already struggling.
Yeah, the Swahili is struggling.
You know, here you are trying to learn a new language as a grown up.
I'm gonna get it.
You think you will?
I promise you. I have a very like go-getting personality when I want something. Yeah. Right? Even my Swahili is struggling. Like, don't just give me time. My Kikuyu too, give me time. Yes. The accent is rough. Yes. But give me time. I'm gonna get it. I'm determined. I'm staying here.
I like that.
I'm determined.
I like that you know how far you guys have fallen from the culture and you want to get back into the culture.
Yeah, I've fallen far.
Are there a few things that you've come to learn about, especially traditional culture? Because I remember there's a time when people came to learn about your family. It was during a wedding. Sort of they're like, who is that in the wedding? Yeah. Are there a few things that you're learning now that you didn't know?
Yeah. I think I knew nothing about Russia. Like, I didn't really know.
You didn't think we were not paid for a dowry?
No, I knew that, but I didn't know the process. Okay. Yeah, I didn't know how it works. Like, I'd never been to one, to be really honest.
Yes, they're not so many.
Yeah, they're not so many. I didn't really know how it worked. Also, like, how family plays some part in just a lot of things. Yeah. You know, I think in the U.S., your family does play a part, but it's a very independent, individualized.
Because you see, you're foreigners even.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, there are a lot of things I'm learning.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't even think right now. You're putting me on the spot. I can't think. But the Russia was definitely an eye opener, and it was so much fun. I'm like, this is what we do. Yeah. What is it? What is it that you drink? What is it? I can't even.
The Muratina.
Muratina. Yes. First of all, that's bomb. And it gets you there quickly. Okay? That's even better than a whiskey. Okay, that's better. It gets me there from 0 to 100 real quick.
Oh, no.
Yeah. I actually really love Martina, to be really honest.
I've had it. Yeah. The smell, I find it's a little bit tough.
I didn't mind that either. I like the smell.
It's a little bit on the conker side.
It is. Yeah. I loved it though. My cousins were like, so I was given in the bowl, right? Yeah. And I'm over there like, good. Because it's not bitter.
But they're like, yo, slow down.
They're like, baby girl, you're new to this. I'm like,
take your time. It tastes
good. They're like, you're new to this.
That's why it tastes good.
Yeah.
Because it's made with honey.
Yes. And then they were like, slow down. And I got up, I was like, oh my. I get it, and I love it.
Yeah. I'm glad that you've is it acclimate? I don't know what the word is. Yeah. I'm glad that you're settling in and you're learning what to do and where to live and how to live. Yeah. Have you picked out this is where I'm going to live for the rest of my life? Is Kenya going to be your home forever? You're going to jump ship again? You know, you scare me.
No, why?
These adventurous girls like, you know me, I'm going to Brazil. Bye.
I think Kenya will be my primary home.
Yes.
It won't be my only.
Yeah.
I've always had this big dream, like I always say, of living in different parts of the world.
Yeah.
Even that means I'm living every 5 months. I go for like 3 weeks to Milan and I live there.
Okay.
You know, if I go, to the U.S. and I live there, I've always had that dream. And even for my children, my future children, go ahead, my husband, find me. All right.
Tap in.
Tap in. I'm gonna need you to tap in, right? I feel like I've always wanted them to have that worldly experience.
Yeah.
But Kenya will always be my primary home. I'll live here, I would say, like 80% of the time.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's always great to come back home.
I love it here.
I will lie.
Do.
I say it myself. I just say if I was to go to another country, I'm just going to look for money and then I bring it back home.
Yes.
Yes. I just want to go get money, come back.
You guys have no idea, or maybe you do. But let me just tell you, the serenity and the peace and the I can't even explain that I have here. I've never felt in my life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that.
Especially not as an adult. So I'm definitely not leaving this. But I'm gonna go get some money for sure. I'm gonna go get collect some experiences.
You're all about them, and I love it. And
Yeah.
it's such a beautiful thing to see a young person go that hard.
Yeah.
But do you sometimes feel like you need to slow down?
I
Because
slow-
it's not all about the money.
It's not. It's really not. I also talk about experiences.
Yeah.
I've done a lot of experiences. And it's not all about the money.
Yeah.
Right? But I've always had this idea of what I want my family. I'm not just doing this for myself. I'm doing this for my family. And on
Yes.
top of that, I want so much money that I can dispose of it however I would like.
Okay.
If I want to give it to a huge community to build a school,
Yes.
if I want to, give it to like a elderly woman or like whatever I want to do, I think money equals freedom to do whatever I want.
Yeah.
In terms of humanitarian, on the humanitarian side.
Yeah.
If that means I want to buy a jet at the same time, if that means I want to travel to freaking Peru without any conditions.
Yes.
I think that's all. And if that means I want to go to like I want to go to a temple, like it just allows me to do though. That's how I see money.
That's great.
I know online maybe I like show I'm buying expensive things, but I think if people actually knew who I was, like my jacket is like thrifted, right? Like
It's pretty. Very cute. Yeah.
Thanks. So I think if people actually knew who I was,
Yeah.
they would see why I want to get money.
Okay.
It's to open doors, not just for myself, but for so many people in this world.
And that's the way it should be because,
Yeah.
and that's the thing about women. Women literally save a whole society.
Yeah.
Anytime a woman does something, she saves. One of the oldest lines that he said, educate one woman, you educate the whole village
Yes,
or society. So
yes.
I get where it stems from and it's really beautiful
Yeah.
because what you guys are doing at your college and what you're doing on social media
Yeah.
is really opening people to realizing that even traveling the world and making money is not something so hard.
It's really
Because
not.
we really think it's hard.
It's genuinely
We're
not
like,
that hard.
hata utaenda wapi upande mat za US? Yani, how will we go? You know?
And you think it's so hard. And we're in the day and age of the internet. Right? Like the majority of the things I found out that I need to do about Kenya, I learned online.
Yeah.
Well, if it's like I've gone to like different countries, I found all that information online. And then also on social media, you just like find someone that lives in Brazil and you like reach out to them. Like the world is so big. If there's ever a time to travel, it's now.
More than ever.
More than ever. We have all the resources. You're over there on TikTok scrolling, commenting on people. You can do the same thing and add value to your own life. Right?
You feel me?
Yeah.
Umeshaambiwa.
Yeah.
Shaambiwa.
Yeah.
I really love the fact that, Yvonne, you have encompassed yourself as a Kenyan. You're loving it. You've taken it with grace. Sometime you've put up a fight. And I want to see what you're going to be doing more. Are we going to start, you already have a channel already.
But I'm not really at it. But I want to start a podcast.
Yeah?
I do.
Start a podcast.
I do. I want to start a podcast. I want to do so many things. I don't believe in pigeonholing myself into
Yes.
one thing.
Yeah.
I want to I want to do things with like young girls and helping them and mentoring them. You know, I want to do so many things. Y'all gonna see me get married to my husband
Ooh.
that's watching this.
Yeah.
Y'all gonna see me buy.
Yeah,
You know,
see, I make the ultimate connection.
Hey, 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 hey. You know, I still want all those things. I still want to be a mother. You know, I want to be a wife.
Yeah.
I want to accomplish things. You know, this is just the beginning for me.
Yeah.
Which is why I keep saying, like, Kenyans, yeah, I'm here to stay. I'm here to stay. Y'all gonna love me or hate me. But you're gonna see me
Just
though.
find a seat for her. She's not leaving.
Yeah, I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah?
You're gonna hit me or love me, whatever you're gonna feel, but you will know me.
There's no other way.
There's no other way. Yeah.
And that's a wrap. This is season 2 of the POV podcast. It's all about African stories and African leaders. And remember, you can stream it live on Spotify, YouTube, and all podcast platforms. My name is Kate Shira, and welcome and thank you for watching POV Podcast.